I've said many times that I think ChatGPT is the best AI tool for English learners. But Google I/O just happened, and they announced and talked about a bunch of stuff. So have things changed? Is Google now the cutting edge of AI, especially for English learners? That's what I want to talk about. My gripe with Google has always been this. Their technology is very good. Right now, I think they have the best AI model out there. But they struggle with what I'm going to call the last mile problem, which is putting it all together into a package that's very usable, that's very user-friendly, that's intuitive, that's helpful. It seems like they always stumble in that last step. So let's talk about that and some of the specific things that Google, at Google I/O, that they talked about and announced. So one, which I think is very interesting, is improvements to the Gemini app. If you've seen my previous reviews of the Gemini app, I didn't have nice things to say about it. Always forgetting what we're talking about, what we're supposed to be doing, just saying dumb things all the time. As opposed to ChatGPT, Grok, a lot of other AI chat platforms. So it's supposed to be better now. Great, I thought it's better now, I can't wait. So the first thing I did, I fired up my Gemini app. It seemed to be going okay, and then I asked a question. Hey, how do I change the voice? I can't find the setting to change the voice for Gemini. How do I do that? I asked that question in the chat.
You can change my voice in the settings of your Alexa app. Just go to the Devices section, select the device you want to change, and look for Alexa's voice. You should see a few different options there.
And Gemini said, okay, so go into your Alexa settings. Alexa settings? What are you talking about? Alexa settings? Do you think you are Amazon Alexa? Is that what you think? And then Gemini said, oh no, I'm sorry. Go into your Google Home settings. And I said, I'm not using a Google Home. I threw my Google Home away because it sucks. And it said, oh yeah, sorry. Go into your phone's accessibility settings and change the voice, which is not how you do it. So, okay, I don't know, maybe I'm using it wrong. When is Gemini supposed to get better? In the demo, they showed a person walking around and using visual intelligence. Gemini, I think empowered by what they call Astra, is saying, correcting them, basically. When you're wrong, you think that this tree is short, but actually it's tall. You think someone's following you, actually it's your shadow. So a cool demo, right? And the promise of it is very cool. To have an assistant who can see what you see, if you show it stuff with your phone, right? And say intelligent things about it, right? Use intelligence to give you good information. As an English learner, that is very useful to learn words, to maybe, if you're in a social setting, ask, what should I say? I need to order something. I want to pronounce it correctly. How do I pronounce this this bottle of wine here? I don't know how to say it. A lot of things, right? Very cool. It remains to be seen. Again, I haven't had great results with Google Gemini yet, and I've given it many chances. But you can do this in ChatGPT now. You can turn on the camera and share your camera or your screen, and it's pretty smart, and it can give you pretty good information. Now, there is an interesting thing here that I want to mention in a minute that they talked about at the end of the event, which I think could be cool, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, they also really focused on this future of your ultimate assistant knowing everything about you, having the full context. Now, Google has a unique advantage here because if they build a really good assistant and it has full access to all of your Google Docs, your Google Drive, and maybe YouTube videos you've watched, right? Previous emails you've sent, then it has a lot of context to use to give good answers. They gave an example of writing an email with an instant response that matches how you write using context from previous emails you've written. and things from your Google Calendar. That's very cool. Again, it remains to be seen how the experience will actually be. We can't trust a demo. But if it is very good and you can quickly write emails without having to write the emails, and you can create things easily without having to always give the context because your assistant or the AI that you're working with knows everything that you've done in the past, that's great. That would be amazing. That has to be the future. Now, they also want to expand that and say, not just does your assistant have full access to all of your Google stuff, your Google life, let's call it. It can also access the internet anytime, and it can see things, as I talked about, and reason with that information and give you good answers. It can do things on your behalf. So a real agent. They gave the example of someone trying to fix their bike, checking the store to see if things are available. The assistant using, I think, something called Astra would call the bike store and say, do you have this part? And then showing it what you're looking at can tell you which bolt size to choose and maybe do a Google search to find a part and order it. Right, so doing a lot of different things, scheduling something while you're working on it at the same time, adding it to your calendar. So kind of working between all the apps, doing everything for you, making phone calls for you, finding information for you, making decisions about things that you show it, right? Putting it all together could be an incredibly powerful experience. As a language learner, right, I want to suck in all of the interesting things going on around me in my life, my work, right? And I want to use that to create an environment, an English learning environment. I want my assistant to know that I have specific goals, that when I'm sitting on the bus commuting to work, I like to maybe work on my speaking skills. I can mumble under my breath and practice the presentation I have later in the afternoon and get feedback. And because maybe my assistant knows this about me, it can remind me when I get on the bus to do that. And we've done it many times, so the feedback gets better and better, and we can sort of move forward together, improve together. Incredible. That could be amazing. This personalized coach assistant who knows me and whose knowledge of me and my context and my goals gets better over time. This has to be the future of using AI. The question is just, is this the future? Is Google the one that's going to do it first or not? You know, they'll probably get there, but whether they'll get there first, I think, is an open question. But they do have this dream and they're very focused on it. Now, there are two other things that they showed at Google I/O that I am pretty excited about. One area where I think Google is currently the best is VO. So VO2 is, in my opinion, the best video generation model out there. Better than OpenAI's Sora. It's the best one. So they announced VO3. And the cool thing about VO3 is that it's not just a better video generation model. It allows you to generate dialogue, speech.
They left behind a ball today. It bounced higher than I can jump.
Oh, what manner of magic is that?
So imagine I want to learn some phrases. I create in a prompt a scene, a video, and then I just say basically generate this with the dialogue. I've made a little movie for myself with the characters talking using the phrases that I'm trying to learn. I can see it in real life, see how it's used in real life, kind of like real life, a generated video. That has a lot of potential. I'm excited to play around with VO3 when that is available. It's not currently available, but when it is, I'm definitely going to try it out and see how good it is for coming up with scenes with dialogue using specific English words and phrases. Now, the other thing that I think is potentially very exciting is what they're calling Android XR. So this is a kind of mixed reality technology that can go into a headset, it can go into a pair of glasses. And you have an assistant with a speaker in your ear, and visually, in front of your face, in front of your eyes, information, maps, text, images, right, whatever. Now, the only one I've seen like this so far, where you have actual information in front of your eyeballs, right, images in front of your eyeballs, is Meta's prototype. I have the Meta Ray-Bans, but that's just in your ear and there's a camera. So if they can tie this together and make a really good assistant that can do everything and is natural and not dumb, and put it in a pair of glasses made by, for example, Warby Parker, which is a really cool brand for glasses, if they can make really good glasses and they're mixed reality, and you can just walk around and do what you do, go about your day, get reminders, learn about the world around you, say, hey, what's that, right? Tell me more about this, summarize this thing that I'm looking at, or maybe something pops in, it's your daily English practice and it's right there, kind of off to the side, and you can just quickly look at it, learn a phrase of the day and swipe it away without having to take out your phone. And it's really immersive. Eventually, the ability to create characters that are kind of walking around in the real world, and they look like they're actually there, but they're not, but you see them in your glasses and you can practice talking with them or just see them doing their own thing or whatever, right? That is the future that I think is very exciting. I don't think I would wear them all the time, but the ability to have that information, video, characters layered on top of the real world, plus really good AI, a really, really good AI assistant who knows you very well, putting all that together into a pair of glasses is kind of the ultimate. Is kind of where it's all going, in my opinion. The two companies leading here, I think, would be probably Meta and Google. So Apple's Vision Pro is just too big. It's too clunky. That's not it. Maybe they'll come up with glasses soon, I hope, but not yet. So Meta's got really good glasses. The assistant's not so good right now, but they're working on it, and they have a prototype that's very cool. Google's showing this prototype. It was the worst demo, kept having issues, but the idea of it is incredibly cool. They were showing this basically looking down at the ground, seeing a map, being able to take a picture, asking for information, learning about things around you, right? Doing live searches based on what you're pointing at. This is amazing. And if they can actually do it, I will be the first person to buy a pair of Warby Parkers with the Google Assistant built in and call myself, for the first time ever, an Android user. I'm not an Android user, but I would be if they did that. So the company that needs to be worried about this really good intelligence baked into a phone, baked into Android, the company that needs to be worried is not OpenAI. It's definitely Apple, because Apple AI it's trash. It's garbage. It's awful. It's not even worth talking about. So it remains to be seen. Again, my concern with Google is always the last mile problem, where the demos look amazing, the things they're working on potentially so cool, and then when I actually use it, I feel just disappointing, especially compared to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, there's an elegance about it, an intuitiveness about it, feels natural to use. You don't have to think about product names and what a billion things are called. You just use ChatGPT and do what you need to do. And it's intuitive. You do have to switch between models, which is a bit annoying. But with Google, it just seems like there's an element of taste missing, where the models are great, the technologies are great, the priorities that they have are great, the things that they think are interesting are all great. But there are a million names that I need to try to remember. Astra and XR and Mariner and VO and a bunch of things that I need to remember. And if I don't remember them, then I can't use them. And some things are available in Gemini and some things aren't, and some things are available in this tier and not in that tier. It's very confusing. And the end product, the end user experience just tends to be lacking with Google, and it's always been a frustration for me. It's always been something that kind of just irks me, and I really hope that Google pulls it off this time, because I want that future. I want it to work. But sadly, so far, it hasn't been my experience. I mean, Google Gemini thinking it's Alexa, are you kidding? That's crazy, stupid, so dumb. All right, anyway, let me know what you think about all the stuff they announced at Google I/O. Is this the future? Personally, I think the ideas are the future. What I'm not sure about is if Google is going to be the one to make it the future. Or at least, I'm not sure if they're going to be the ones to get there first. But we'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Get a free course in the links in the description. Yes, free. Check out the 90-day program. That's the best way to improve your English in 90 days. And if you're not happy with your results at the end, yes, you can get a full refund at the end, which is, I think, an amazing deal. So check that out in the links in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.